Hi guys, Cruz here. I am here to film my ambitious October TBR. TBR, if you don't know, stands for To Be Read Pile or To Be Read List. These are 3 stacks of books I have right here. There's going to be a theme to my TBR. Some of them are either for book clubs, buddy reads, readathons, arcs that I need to get to because I got sent from a few publishing companies recently. And I might be going to Y'all Fest. Yay! Y'all Fest is happening November 11th through the 13th, or the 12th and the 13th, but I might be going the 11th through the 15th of November. So if you guys are going, please let me know down below. I would love to meet you guys at Y'all Fest. So I have all the authors here. I think I have all of them. If not, I will shout them out in the video. The first book before the stack falls over, we have A Curse in Ash by Julie Xanatopoulos. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, Julie. This is Julie's debut of adult fantasy contemporary novel. Julie from Pages and Pen here on BookTube. I love her channel and I love Julie as a person. I talk to her every single day on not every single day, but most days on Instagram. And Julie, I have your book. It just came out yesterday and I cannot wait to read it. This is one that I'm definitely for sure gonna read this month. Next book I have is the book club pick for my friend Brendan's book club, and he's gonna be reading Certain Dark Things by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This one I haven't hauled yet. I just put this in my September stack because I'm so excited to read this one. This one I know nothing about. I read Mexican Gothic by this author and I didn't really love it, so I'm hoping I will love this one. This one sounds right up my alley. It's set in Mexico City and it has to deal with vampires and werewolves. That's all I know about it, and it's for my friend's book club pick, so very excited to get to this. And we will be having a live show on Brendan's channel, and I'll link his channel down below, and I'll link anyone else's channel that I mentioned throughout this video down below, so go look in my description box. But yeah, no live show date is announced yet, but most likely it will be November or Halloween. We haven't decided yet. Next book I have is a TikTok famous book. This will be my first book by the author, and I just bought this in September, and that is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I'm so excited and also very nervous to read my first Colleen Hoover book. I was like, I'm never going to read Colleen Hoover. She just sounds like an author not for me, but this has a trope in here I love. It's not really a trope, but it's a dark hitting contemporary novel that will make you cry your souls out. So I love those type of books, and I know there's a lot of trigger warnings for this one, so this will be my first Colleen Hoover book. I hope this is a good place to start. This cover is just stunning. I can't stop staring at it, but let me fix my light switch real quick. Hold on. Sorry, our weather outside is very cloudy, so it kind of looked like it was getting dark. Anyways, It Ends With Us will be my first Colleen Hoover book. I don't want to know much about this one. I just know everyone's saying this is their favorite book by this author, so yay. Check out a reading vlog coming for this one soon. The next one I'm actually currently reading, and I'm hoping to finish it sometimes this week, and that is A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. I'm reading this currently for my friend Lori's readathon, which is a chiller thriller readathon, which I already have an announcement for it and a TBR post for it on my channel here. That was the last video I uploaded. This is the stunning Owl Crate edition. Like, look at that. I'm already halfway through it. I'm like 85 pages into it, and I'm really enjoying it, and I cannot wait to see how this book ends and what this book is about, because there's a mystery aspect in here that I'm really loving. So can't wait to read more, and hoping I can finish this sometimes this week. I already did read 2 books for the month of October. These are the 2 that I read, and what my ratings are for them, I don't know. You have to see later this month. Next few books are arcs, so I'm just gonna fly through them. We have Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. This one comes out October 12th. Then we have Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. I'm so excited for this one. This one comes out October 26th. Then we have Shadowed Midnight by Danielle Clayton, the second book in the Mirror series, which I definitely want to read book 1 before reading this one, obviously. So both of these are on my TBR. Then we have Tristan Strong Keeps Punching by Kimon Mabala. This one just came out. This is the third and final book in this trilogy. Then I have a middle grade book to break up these fantasy novels, and that is Frankie and Bug by Gail Forman. This is Gail Forman's newest book. This one comes out October 12th. And then we have my first Stephen King novel. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm going to read Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King, obviously. Don't know much about this except my friend from karate really loves this. And she's like, read this one and read it. But I'm like, girl, you know how big it is? It is 1,000 pages and this one's only like 400. So very excited, and I cannot wait to see what this one has in store for me. I'll probably read this more towards the end of the month for Gabby from Gabby Reads Readathon, just because I know Gabby loves Stephen King as well. So the next book I have the audiobook for it checked out on my Hoopla right now. So that is What Once Was Mine by Liz Braswell. I don't know if I'm going to read this one this month or going to save it for my friend Taylor, because my friend Taylor and I were dying to read this Rapunzel retelling, and we have it and I cannot wait to read it. And it just sounds amazing. It sounds like something we would both love, and it just came out in the month of September. Also, my friend Heather bought me this book, so thank you so much, Heather. I love you to death, and I can't wait to read this, and I will let you know what I thought of it. Next is also another new release, and that is Battle of the Bands edited by Lauren Gabby and Eric Smith. Eric Smith is an author I read from this year, so I was so excited when I saw his name in this collaboration. This is 16 stories, 16 dreams, one epic night. So this follows 15 YA authors and one real-life rock star band together for one epic and interconnected night. So yeah, 16 story or 15 stories or whatever it is, 16 stories. Wow, cannot talk today. So it's a short story collection, obviously, so it's definitely a short read, and I hope I love this one because I did got this as a pre-order. This next book is a library book, and my Hoopla already has the audiobook for it, and it just came out this month, or it came out in September, and that is Things We Couldn't Say by J. Coles. This is the same author of Tyler Johnson Was Here, which I believe I have right here. Right here is Tyler Johnson Was Here. Have I read that one yet? Nope. But I just love the cover of this one. This one sounds like it says, from one of the brightest and most acclaimed new light in YA fiction, a fantastic new novel about a queer black boy finding first love and facing the return of the mother who abandoned his preacher family when he was 9. Ooh, sounds hard-hitting. Definitely sounds like I need tissues for this, and this is a library book, so for sure I'll be reading this one soon. And then I got 10 books I picked out of my TBR jar because I don't know what to read this month. So I was like, let me have my TBR jar pick the books for me. Obviously, that's why we made one. So these next 10 books are what got picked out of my TBR jar. First one up is a middle grade book, and that is Sal and Gabby Fix the Universe by Carlos Hernandez. This is the second and final book in this duology. I read book 1 last year and I really loved it, and I cannot wait to see how book 2 wraps up this duology. And I just remember loving these two characters. I remember Sal being very funny, Gabby was very funny, so I cannot wait to see how this one wraps up because I love the other Rick Riordan Presents books. The next is a library book, so I don't know if I will get to this one this month or if I'm going to renew it and read it in November, but that is Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson. I know my friend Sydney and we were planning on buddy reading this one in September, but we never did, just because we were both busy and we just didn't have time to plan out a buddy read for this one. we just both have this book and we're both excited to read it. I loved Monday's Not Coming by this author, and I read Grown by her. Both of those books were amazing, and I know I will love this one. I just don't want to know too much about it. I just know it's set in Brooklyn, 1998, a year before I was born. And this follows with the death of a friend who was about to go big time in the rap business. That's all I really know about it. So yeah, I can't wait to see how this one goes. I know it has a lot of trigger warnings, so look those up if you want to for yourself. The next book I have is an adult fantasy novel that I'm dying to read, and that is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This is a debut novel by this author, and I'm really excited. It's a Mulan retelling, and I know my friend Emily recently read this, and she gave it 4 stars, which is a high praise from her, and I can't wait to see how this one goes for me. I can't remember if I have the audiobook for this one or not, because I use so many platforms on my phone now. So if I do have the audiobook, I will definitely try and listen to it. If not, then I will have to physically read it. The next one is a YA contemporary novel by a favorite author of mine, and that is Becky Albertalli with her new book, Kate in Waiting. I cannot wait to read this one, no pun intended. This deals with a group of musical theater kids trying to put on this play, but they can't because one of the cast member got sick or something like that. I'm not too sure what this is about, but I believe it's set in the same world as Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, or it could be completely separate from her other works. But I love Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, so I know I will love this one. And I think I'm planning on buddy reading this with my friend Heather, but I can't remember if Heather read this one yet or not. But this one got picked out of my TBR jar. Another book that got picked out of my TBR jar was The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schaefer. I think it's Schaefer. This is an LGBT contemporary set in space. Like, there's a little bit of sci-fi in there. This is also another debut novel, I believe, and it's a library book. So this one says, 2 boys alone in space. After the first settler on the Titan trips her distress signal, neither remains county on Earth. Sorry, it's hard to read because it's like covered up, like the tape right there is covered up. So it's kind of hard to read the synopsis for my library book, but this is one that I know was an easy cat book club pick, and I wanted to read it, and it sounds really interesting, and I do have the audiobook for this checked out from my Overdrive right now. Next one, I do have the audiobook checked out from my Overdrive right now, and that is Half Sick of Shadows by Lauren Sebastian. This is an Arthurian reimagining, Arthurian legend reimagining story. This says the story of Camelot is hers. So I'm so excited for this. This is the author's first adult fantasy novel too. So we love a good fantasy book and a retelling. We love that on our channel too. And yeah, it's just, I have this on my shelf since June, and I think it's ready to be read in the month of October. The next book, the final book out of my TBR jar, actually, how many was that? How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was the other one? Oh well, we'll figure it out later. And then I have Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Herbert. I did try to read this during the summertime, and I just couldn't get into it. I got that far into it, actually. Like, I just couldn't get past the 150 page mark. So maybe I'll try and read it this month. If not, I'll save it for the spring. But this is on my TBR. We also have Fire by Kirsten Cashore that got picked. Then we have That Weekend by Kara Thomas. This is a book I'm saving for the end of October. This is set at a camp or lake house, I should say. It says 3 best friends, a lake house, a secret trip. What could go wrong? really, what could go wrong? I love The Cheerleaders by this author, and I cannot wait to see if I would love this one too. I'm very eager to see what my thoughts for this one are. Next one I hear is a perfect book to read during the month of October, and I cannot wait. I have this whole trilogy on my shelf, and that is A Discovery of Riches by Deborah Harkins. This one I know my friend Charlie, I believe she read it and she loved it, so I cannot wait to read it, and I just hear nothing but amazing things about it. I don't know much about it except it's set in a library and it deals with witches. That's all I need to know. The next one is also very similar. It's set in a library and it has something magical with it, and that is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novak. I know book 2 just came out this month, or it came out last month, but I've been hearing mixed things about this book, but I know a few people I trust on BookTube have loved it, so I'm curious to see where I will fall into this one, but I definitely want to read this in the October. This one I don't know if I will read in October, but this is the audiobook that I have checked out from Hoopla right now, and that is Rise Up to the Sun by Leah Johnson. This is Leah Johnson's second novel, and her first book was You Should See Me in a Crown, and I love that one. That's my favorite book by this author so far. I mean, she only has one book out, so I'm really excited to see where the writing for her second book will take us. And yeah, this sounds like a cute contemporary novel. Then I have The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. This one I've been meaning to read for ages now. I remember reading this one specifically, but I don't remember continuing on with the series. So we love a good reread. And yeah, there's an audiobook for this one on Hoopla that I have checked out currently. And this new cover for the series are stunning. I can't get over it. The next book is another popular TikTok book here right now, and that is The Songs of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Everyone and their mother has been raving about this book, so you bet you I'm going to read it this month, and I know my friend Charlie is going to be so happy when she sees this is in my TBR video. Then I was supposed to read this for July for my Queer Reads book club pick, but I never did, and that was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I don't know why I never picked this up, because it sounds like something I would love, so I'm gonna try it again and read it, because I know my friend Charlie read the whole series and she absolutely loved it. So I'm very curious to see how I will feel, and I know this is everyone's favorite sci-fi novel, so we love that, and I'm a bad co-host that I have not read my own book club book. The next book, I'm very curious to see what I think of it. I did started this last year, and I was enjoying it when I read it last year. I literally got to chapter 11, page 45, and that is The Midnight Lies by Marie Rukowski. Like I said, I started this last year. Why did I not finish it? I do not know. I love Marie Rukowski's Winter Curse trilogy, so I'm very excited to see how this one goes. And I think this is a duology, and if it is, then the finale just came out last month. And yeah, maybe I'll pick this up. Maybe I'll like it. I hope I do, because I love The Winter Curse by her. And then the book club pick for October for Easy Cat, from Jason over at Easy Cat, is Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. I'm very excited to read this. This sounds like the perfect spooky read to read in October. It's covered in bees, and I do not like bees at all. Just ask my whole family. I do not like bees, but these end pages are just stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I read The House of Salt and Sorrows by this author a few years ago when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm curious to see if I will like this one or not. And then the Cruz book club pick for the month of October is Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. This is a debut novel set in a zoo. Like, what? Yes, please. I cannot wait to read this. I know my friend Charlie read this. She wasn't a huge fan of it as we thought we would, but I'm still curious to see how I would feel. And I know everyone else is either starting it or they're also planning on reading it for October. So if you love to join us, please let me know down below. Okay, this next stack of books are books I either carried over from September or the author's going to the office. So we have Miss Tahira Mafi is going, and I need to read An Emotion of Great Delight by her before seeing her. Also, if I get to meet Tahira Mafi, like, I would literally cry at this event. Also, Charlie, I get to meet you soon, and that's like ecstatic as well. So I definitely need to read this. This sounds like a hard-hitting contemporary novel, and I read her first contemporary novel the year it came out, and I really loved it. So it's super short, one of my shorter reads on this TBR. Then we have Adaline Grace is going to be there, so I need to only read All the Tides of Fate by her, and then I'll be caught up with all her works. And then Gail Foreman's also going to go there. So she's going to go there for Frankie and Bug and We Are Inevitable. I've been meaning to read this. I mean, I bought this at the bookstore the day it came out, and I just never got around to reading it yet. So I'm very sad that I haven't read this one yet. It's also very short, so maybe I should just do a reading vlog with both of her books. The next author that's going to be there is Melissa De La Cruz, and she's going to be there for her Queen's Assassin series. I'm very nervous for this one because my friend Charlie read this and she said she didn't really love it. Her writing is just mediocre for this series, so I'm curious to see what she means by that. But very excited for me to dive into a new series by this author because I read the Alex and Eliza series by her and I really loved that one, so maybe I'll love this one too. Then Victoria Aveyard is going to be there, and she's going to be there for Realmbreaker. I have the audiobook for this one checked out for my Overdrive, and thank God I have an audiobook right now because look how chunky this one is. This is the first book in a new fantasy series. Then we have Stacey Lee, the author of The Downstairs Girl. She's going to go to Y'all Fest this year. Then we have Symone Channier, and I only need to read One True King by him. This is the sixth and final book in this series. Then Nick Stone is going to be there. She's going to be there for Fast Pitch, which is a middle grade book, and I love Nick Stone, so I cannot wait to meet her. Then Rachel Pincott is going to be there for The Lucky List, so I definitely want to try and read this one in October as well. This one sounds really interesting. This deals with a girl who, in her senior year of high school, her mother passed away from cancer, and so she finds this list of things that her mother never completed during her high school year, and so the daughter wants to try and complete that list for her mother, which sounds very nice and very touching, and I know I'm going to cry in it. Then we have our June book pick for Queer Reads, and that was Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I meant to read this for my book club. I just can't get into this book, but I love Lost in the Neverwoods, so I don't know what's up with this one and me, but I might try reading this again. Feels like a perfect spooky month to read it in, so we'll see. Cass Morgan and Daniel Page are going to be there, and that is for The Ravens. I can't wait to read this one. I got this one sent to me by Daniel Page for winning her giveaway, so I'm very excited to read this one. And then I just have 4 books carried over from September. I started Conceal Don't Feel by Jen Catalian. She's also going to go to Y'all Fest this year, so maybe I can finish this and then have her sign it for me maybe. I did started this. I got to chapter 6, page 50, so not bad for starting a new book. But I did start this towards the end of the month, so maybe that's why I didn't finish it. And then I also started Gods and Monsters. I didn't really got far into this one. I'm literally on chapter 3, but I'm just happy that I started it. And then the second to final book on my TBR is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I started this only 4 or 5 chapters in, so there's that. And then Wings of Shadows by Nikki Peretta. This is the third and final book in the Crown of Feathers trilogy. I almost forgot what book 1 was called. I didn't really love Crown of Feathers, but I loved Heart of Flames, and I cannot wait to see how this trilogy wraps up. I'm on chapter 10, page 85, so hopefully I'll finish it in the month of September or October, and I'll wrap up another series. So yeah, that's my pretty ambitious October TBR. If you read any of these books or these books, please let me know down below. And I hope you all have a great day or night, and I'll chat with you guys down in the comments below. Let me know down in the comments which of these books should I read first. What are you reading in the month of October? Are there any book clubs that you are participating? Any readathons you're participating in? Let me know all that info down below, and I hope you all have a great day or night, and I'll chat with you guys later. Be kind to yourself. Love you guys. Bye.